What you're doing here is you're spending your cryptocurrency, so you don't need to convert this to euros or anything like that. And for those who want to maybe take a bigger bet on cryptocurrency, you've got some really attractive rewards and incentives if you're willing to take that risk. Whether you are a really big believer in crypto or whether you're just dipping your toes in the water, and I believe there's something for everyone.
Welcome to Millennials with Money. My name is Johnny. Thank you for joining me for this video. Let's get this money.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Crypto platforms have become increasingly numerous and increasingly more accessible with the crypto boom and increased interest that it has gained over the past few years. What you've now also got are a few platforms which are trying to differentiate themselves, stand out from the pack in a sense, by offering rewards through cashback and loyalty programs on their platforms. That's what we're going to look at in today's video. I'm going to look at two of these cashback cards, one from Binance and the other from Crypto.com. We're going to look at how these cards and these programs work, what are the pros, what are the disadvantages if there are any, and I'll finish off by giving my concluding thoughts. So let's get right into it. Now, both Crypto.com and Binance are crypto brokers. Essentially, if you sign up to their platform, you'll be able to buy and sell cryptos, NFTs, and you can also do crypto staking on both platforms as well. Obviously, cryptocurrencies aren't a regulated asset, so you do have to keep that in mind. Nevertheless, both of these brokers have sought and gained the regulatory approval in several countries. And in the case of Binance, they have been approved in France as a regulated digital asset provider. And as these platforms grow and promote the adoption and use of cryptocurrency in everyday life, they've launched a couple of programs that allow their users to be able to do that. What I'm essentially talking about here are their crypto cashback cards. So essentially you will get a Visa card, you can top it up with fiat currency in the case of Crypto.com, and in the case of Binance, you will actually load it up with cryptocurrency, and then you'll spend that and receive cash back. So let's start with the Crypto.com program, which is divided up into 5 tiers, starting with Midnight Blue, which is an ordinary plastic debit card. And then on the remaining tiers, you'll get a metal card. So you got the Ruby Steel, Jade Green, Royal Indigo, Frosted White Gold, and Icy White. And you've also got the Obsidian card, which is the top tier. Now, there are no annual fees for having this card. The only charges come for topping up by credit card or if you withdraw and you're over your limit, etc. And you get some really interesting rewards, up to 5% cash back depending on your tier. But that's not all. Also, depending on your tier, you'll get 100% rebate. That's to say your full cash back in Crypto.com coin on the following subscriptions. So on Spotify, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and if you're traveling, you'll also get up to 10% cash back on any Airbnb and Expedia bookings that you make. In addition, if you're a keen traveler, then you'll also get airport lounge access if you're on the Jade Green, Royal Indigo tier or above, which is pretty cool. And this card is also available for people living in a wide range of geographies. It's available in the UK, in the US, across the EU, in Latin America. It's available in Australia and New Zealand, and I believe other geographies in the APAC region as well. Also in Brazil, and I believe other parts of Latin America as well. Now, with all of that on offer on the Crypto.com program, you do need to keep the following in mind. So for you to be able to benefit from those cashback and from those rebate offers, you need to stake some crypto, and you also have to stake it in Crypto.com coin, which is a very, very volatile cryptocurrency. And the staking requirements are quite high as well. They're starting at 350 euros on the Ruby Steel tier, up to 3,500 on the Royal Indigo and Jade Green tier. The next tier is 35,000 euros on the Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White card, and 350,000 euros of staking on the Obsidian card. Of course, the staking requirements will very much change depending on which currency and which geography you're based in, but you can see the more you go up those tiers, the more is required of staking. And you've really got to be comfortable putting that money in staking because it is locked for at least 180 days. And for as long as you want to keep getting those benefits, you need to keep your staking locked in the platform. Otherwise, the cashback and the rebates will simply, they won't go through. And anybody who is a Crypto.com user will have got the disappointing exciting news recently that the rebate program, so for Spotify, for Netflix, will be ending in January 2023. So there's only 6 more months of this 100% rebate coming back as well. So from January 2023, that will pass simply into the 5% cashback tops, again, depending on your tiers. And this is not the only change that Crypto.com have made to their terms and conditions over the past year. So there is a possibility for future changes to the T's and C's of Crypto.com's program. And then a couple of other points to keep in mind as well. It can be a long wait to get your card. I ordered mine back at the start of this year, and I was waiting for at least 2 or 3 months to get the card. Now, maybe this was in a time of card backlog, but do be aware that if this situation's continued, then you might have a long wait to get your card. And you can only get this as a physical card. There's no possibility that you can add it to Apple Wallet or Google or Samsung Pay. Now let's talk a bit about Binance's program. So Binance, as I mentioned at the beginning, they will let you top up your card with cryptocurrency. There are a range of currencies available. Probably the most common one that you'll use is Binance Coin, but there are a couple of other coins and tokens that you can top it up with as well. And then based on your crypto balance, you will essentially go and use the card, you'll buy your items, and the corresponding amount in euros will be deducted from your crypto balance. But you will then get cash back on that, up to 8%, depending on your average monthly balance, which I'll explain in just a minute. Based on your monthly balance, you will get up from 0.1% up to 8% cash back in Binance Coin on any of your eligible purchases that are made on this card. And as I say, what you're doing here is you're spending your cryptocurrency. So you don't need to convert this to euros or anything like that. You can simply, if you have, for example, a Binance Coin balance in your Binance account, you can simply move that over onto your card balance, and then you can go spending from there. And unlike the Crypto.com card, this is available as a virtual card, though not on Apple Pay yet. You can use it with Google and Samsung Pay to pay virtually. However, again, there's a few things to keep in mind with the Binance cashback program. And as I was saying before, this is based on your monthly balance, how much cashback you will get. So the way they do this is based on the previous 28 days or month, more or less. They will look at what your average Binance balance in your account has been. So based on your monthly balance in Binance Coins, starting from 0 Binance Coins up to 600 Binance Coins, this will determine your cashback tier. And if we look at the chart of the price of Binance Coin over the past year or so, it's not exactly cheap when you keep that in mind. So at its high, it's been at around 500 euros per Binance Coin, and currently it's at a low, it's around about 270, 280 euros per Binance Coin. So even though there are no staking requirements for this program, and the Binance Coin is arguably a little bit more stable than the Crypto.com coin, if we look at a crypto chart, there is still quite a big requirement in terms of your Binance Coin balance on this card if you really want to get a good cashback percentage. You're looking at least several thousand or even tens of thousands of euros before you start getting the really high percentages. And when you compare it to Crypto.com, where you've got rebates on subscriptions, you get cash back, you got some airport lounge benefits, for example. With the Binance program, you are only really getting that cash back in Binance Coin. There's no other real perks or benefits to the program that are being offered right now. And in terms of its geographical availability as well, it's also quite a bit more restricted than the Crypto.com program. So the Binance program at the moment is only really available, if you look at the countries, in the EU and a couple of other EEA states. It's not available in the likes of the UK. It's not available in the US either. So looking at these two programs as someone who dabbles in crypto, you know, I have a little bit of money in crypto. I'm not all in on crypto, but I'm not completely against the idea of crypto as well. I do see potential for it in the future, and I do want to have some exposure, but I'm perhaps a more traditional investor in the sense that I will still, for the time being at least, put more of my money in the likes of index funds and ETFs. With that said, and keeping in mind the points to be aware of on each program, I still think these are pretty good cash programs, because if you're someone like me who wants to dabble in cryptocurrency, then you're perhaps not going to be regularly buying cryptocurrency. But if you've got a little bit of money on, you know, a Crypto.com card or a Binance card, and you spend from time to time, then you do get a little bit of cash back in crypto, and then you can convert it from for example, from Crypto.com coin or from Binance coin to Bitcoin to Ethereum, if that's what you want to do with it. And you're going to build up your crypto assets nice and slowly at a conservative rate, we can say. And then for those who want to maybe take a bigger bet on cryptocurrency, then you've got some really attractive rewards and incentives in these programs if you're willing to take that risk and stake large amounts of Crypto.com coin or Binance coin. So to conclude, whether you are a really big believer in crypto or whether you're just dipping your toes in the water and you just want a little bit of exposure to cryptocurrency, or you're new to the whole thing even, then I believe there's something for everyone in these programs. If you're interested in signing up to either of these programs, I will leave my referral links in the video description. If in the case of Crypto.com you sign up using my link and then you stake enough Crypto.com coin for a Ruby Steel card, then both you and I will receive $25 in CRO coin. Hope you guys found this video interesting and helpful. Leave a comment and let me know if you're using the Binance or Crypto.com card and how your experience with them has been. Now, why not check out my other videos? And if you like this one and you want to see more content like it, then make sure you hit the subscribe button with a notification bell so that you don't miss a single update. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get this money.